Thank you, sweet Bridget, for that lovely introduction. And thank you also, Jim Taylor. You and your friend are absolutely right. Endometriosis is a family issue and affects like every aspect of a woman's body. I mean, about a woman's life, not just her body. It affects her career, her body image and self-esteem. It affects her sex life, her other relationships, and her fertility. I want to say a big thanks to Variety and Karma for this award. Maybe a little cracked out because I just got here from India at 8 a.m., but I think it's kind of funny that I'm getting the Karma Award of all things. I mean, for once, I don't mind being racially profiled because it's like in a good way. Is that possible? But I'm really humbled to be recognized in the company of my fellow honorees today. As a writer, I have admired Margaret Atwood. I also admired and had the pleasure of working with Tina during the telethon for the ACLU, where I now have the privilege of serving as ambassador for women's rights and immigration rights. Thank you. And I've seen firsthand through my 10-year relationship with Keep a Child Alive how inspiring Alicia can be. Ladies, it is an honor to share this stage with you today. I also have to thank Bonnie Hammer, Francis Barrick, and Andy Cohen for giving me the best job in the world for over 10 years. I basically sit on my ass, eat whatever I want, and talk about food all day long, and do it again the next day. For 10 years. And, you know, in TV years, that's like 25 years. And as we all know, for women in Hollywood, it's like a century. I also want to deeply thank Christina Papadopoulos and Lauren Peteroy of BWR for all of their hard work, because my co-founder, Dr. Tamar Sechkin, and I could not have raised this much awareness about endometriosis without them. So thank you, Christina. When we first started the EFA 9 years ago, most people couldn't even say endometriosis, let alone know what it was. Many doctors still don't know how to properly diagnose it. I myself had 2 emergency surgeries before the word was ever uttered to me. And unlike many Americans, I have great SAG insurance and access to good doctors. But those doctors just didn't know any better because they weren't properly educated about women's health. When I finally got the surgeries I needed and saw what life was like, I was relieved. But then I got angry. And that's how the EFA was born. I was diagnosed at 36 after suffering every month since the age of 13 with so much heavy bleeding, cramps, nausea, headaches, backaches, and digestive issues that I was stuck in bed 1 week out of every month when my period came. Think about that. 1 week a month, 3 months a year, for 23 years. That's 5 years and 9 months of my life that I was bedridden, missing school dances, math quizzes, auditions, family milestones, and wedding anniversaries. All important moments where I really needed to be present and just couldn't be. I was told by doctors that I had a low threshold for pain and that I should just get used to it because there was nothing that could be done. Well, it turns out I actually have a really high threshold for pain. Most women do. We have to. And not just for childbirth. I should have been diagnosed, treated, and relieved of my symptoms 20 years ago. Most women with endo don't get properly diagnosed for a whole decade. The only real treatment we have for endo is surgery or the pill. And now they're trying to take those away from us too. Yes, I'm talking to you, Mike Pence. I began to realize that I was being penalized because I have a uterus. I have a vagina. That's right, a vagina. a love box, a snatch, a pleasure cave, my privates, my punani, my down there, the Bermuda Triangle, a coochie, a yoni, and the C word. Oh, and to put it in the words of our oh so articulate commander-in-chief, a pussy. Because you see, if I didn't have a pussy, if I was a man and couldn't get it up, oh, there'd be many drugs, many treatments, pumps even, injections I've now learned because of Ronan, and it would be covered, and it would be covered by insurance. But for the 200 million women with endometriosis, still nothing. Nothing. Except the pill, when we can get it. Surgery, most insurance doesn't pay for unless you wind up in the ER. And oh yeah, a drug that induces a false menopause. Okay? Real menopause is bad enough. Now, on top of endo, we're supposed to give it to ourselves on purpose? You know why? Because our government only spends $7 to $11 million on endometriosis research a year, even though it costs our system $21 billion. Never mind giving a damn about our health. That's just bad business. My amazing doctor, Dr. Tamara Sechkin, and I decided to start the foundation 9 years ago to fix this problem. And with the help of my friend, Dr. Linda Griffith at MIT, we launched the first center of research for gynepathology at MIT with Harvard Medical School. It's the first of its kind in the U.S. Thank you. And thank you, MIT, and thank you, Dr. Griffith. Through Empower, our education program, we're able to reach over 27,000 students and present to them about what endometriosis is and how to look for it. Now, we go to the science classes to destigmatize the topic of menstruation and women's health. And we make it a point to educate both girls and boys about the disease, so that those boys grow up to be empathetic men. I hope that by the time my daughter is an adult, there is a cure, or at least accessible treatment that's covered by insurance, so women worldwide don't have to suffer in silence, like I and millions and millions and millions of women do. Thank you so much for this award. It means everything to me. Thank you so much.